All right, we gonna get right into our topics today. Got got a good amount to recover. Um, it's kind of branching off of what we've been talking about. I think that bridging into our homework that we're about to talk about. Um, at the end of the day, like everything else, nutrition, all that stuff, everything is habits. So when we discuss this stuff, I would always think about trying to apply um, no matter if we're talking about nutrition, no matter if we're talking about exercising, hydration, sleep, if we kind of just sit back and understand exactly what we're talking about, we're always talking about changing of habits. Okay. And the more that you can align everything up, or the more that you can understand that everything is aligned, the better. Okay. So what I'm saying is that we started talking about rest and how that affected weight. And then we talked about how eating, obviously that's where we are now, um, eating, tracking, etc., how that is equivalent, or how that lines you up to be successful in conjunction with our rest. Um, all that is habits. So if you have bad habits, the more bad habits that you have, the more likely you are to not succeed in the overall journey. Okay, so bridging that is to bridge right. We're going right into it. Okay, so we talked about tracking. We want to track more than half the days out of the last 14 days. Okay, if we have been doing that, or if we have done that, great. The question would then be, um, did that correlate, or did that help you to do better in your overall goal? Because tracking is, even though we didn't specify how much tracking, it should help you to improve something. Okay. The overall goal would be, if I track correctly and I track everything, then I'm going to get my weight loss, weight gain, whatever our goal is. Um, if we don't, and our goal is to start tracking, then we should have at least more information or a better indication of what we need to improve on. So if I'm starting at zero, which some people didn't track anything up until the last 2 weeks or the last month, which is fine. What we need to understand is that depending on where we're starting at, so if you never tracked food before, we need to just start working on tracking and tracking accurately. So today, a lot of our segment, or a lot of our conversation, is accurately tracking. Okay, because I feel like I generically said, oh, we need to track for 8 out of 14, without really understanding that, hey, a lot of people don't know how to track, or how to accurately track, or what to look for when they're tracking, because that is the make or break. Like, a lot of people track and they're not tracking right, and if you're not tracking right, then you could be overeating, under eating, you could be doing a whole bunch of stuff, and you could have no clue that you're doing it. Okay. With that being said, I'm just gonna pick on Denise because I know she already did her homework. So I'm gonna pick on you for a second. Okay. So number one was, did you track 8 out of 14?
Yes.
Okay. Out of the 8 out of 14, did you? What was the balance? Were you able to keep a 70-30 balance?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll take it back. I would say for the most part, yes, but there were some days that I didn't have a 70-30. My biggest issue was trying to hit those calories.
Okay. So did you have a harder time getting 70%, or like why would you not have the 70? I mean, asking like what would be what's the hurdle on 70-30?
Prepping.
So you're saying that if you
So
don't
when it,
prep, yeah, go ahead, elaborate.
yeah, if when I don't prep, then I'll get some stuff I'm not supposed to have. Like I won't have it ready, so I'll grab some fast food or something that's not as healthy.
That puts you in the more of the 30, puts you over in the 30%.
Yes.
Okay. Just so we're talking about the 70% of real food, 30% everything else. Okay. So what she's saying is that when she's not prepping, she doesn't hit her 70% of real food. You know, we're talking about real food that's whole. We're talking about whole food, real food, not food that's not crackers and protein bars, protein shakes. We're talking about chicken and rice and vegetables and real food. Okay, so you saying that it's hard to hit your calories and maintain balance without prep.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, yes.
I absolutely think that that's 100% true. So this is the thing. It's all building off of the habit word we talked about. Like it's all about the habits. So understanding that we need to prepare not only our meals, but our mind to understand, okay, if I have a certain way that I'm living, everybody has a different lifestyle. Some people working from home, some people working from on the road, some people, it's all these different dynamics right now, especially in the times that we're in right now. We have to understand, we have to try our best to prepare for whatever that is. Okay. Usually you fail before you even start the day. Okay. So most people fail their nutrition goal and their calorie hitting or their balance. All that stuff is almost always fail before the day even starts. Okay. Because either A, they have no plan, they may not have any idea, or they're not tracking right. Okay. So we'll hit the not tracking right thing last. Okay. The most important thing is you gotta you gotta have an idea. Okay. We all have at least a general idea of how our day is going to go. Obviously, we can't plan for the unexpected. But we're going to say out of 7 days, I would hope that you're not getting unexpected 7 days. Hopefully, most days you have an idea. I have this coming up, or I have this going on. I have to work. I have to this. I got to go to the gym. Some kind of structure. So the same structure that you have there, I got to go to the gym. I'm going to the gym at 6. It's the same mindset that we have to have with our food. Okay. I'm going to the gym. After I go to the gym, I got to go whatever, and I got to go to work. Work is from this to this. So I need to figure out how I'm going to eat after I work out and before I get to work. Like these are things that you have to plan for. It can't be on the fly like, okay, after I work out, then we just gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do this, do this, do that. Because more than likely, it doesn't work. It's not sustainable. Okay. So we're not talking about working for one day. I'm talking about, we just talked about 8 out of 14 days. Can you keep up whatever you're doing for 8 out of 14? So hold on, I'm not gonna pick, I'm just gonna stay with you right now, Denise. So out of the 14 days, okay, what was the sequence on good to average to bad? What was the sequence? Like, was it a whole bunch of good days in a row and then it started to get bad and worse and worse? Is it you're good on Monday through Wednesday and then it starts to break down Thursday, Friday? Like, what's happening? Like, how is it correlating as far as like days with prep?
Well, definitely the weekends when I hit Friday, Saturday, Sunday are probably harder days, especially for prepping for me. But that's probably the biggest breakdown is near the end of the week.
Okay. And that's pretty normal. So when you're prepping, How many days are you prepping for?
Usually 2 to 3 days for me, because after that, I'm not gonna eat it.
So
So
you
I
don't.
have to break it up.
So you prep for, let's say, Monday through Wednesday, and then on Wednesday you prep for the rest of the week,
That's
or
what I'm supposed to do. Yes.
that's what you're not doing.
Right.
Okay, so that I think that's something that happens to a lot of people. A lot of people don't want to eat the same thing for the whole week. They have a problem doing that. If that is one obstacle, but any obstacle like that, she knows that that's an obstacle. So what we have to do in preparation is we have to figure out how, right? How do I make it past Wednesday? So my first suggestion would be take it one day at a time. So if you know that you got Monday through Wednesday on lock because you know you're going to prep there, like how can you get to Thursday? What can you do to prep and make Thursday like Monday and build from there? So think about it as two halves, right? So the first half is whatever Monday through Wednesday, and the second half is the back end of the week. And every day you build off of that. Because what you're not going to probably do is be able to just be like, okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing, and then I'm just going to do the rest of the week. Usually that doesn't happen. That's too big of a change. But going from 3 good days to 4 good days, I guarantee you'll see better results. That would be we talked about goals a long time ago. That would be a realistic way to achieve your goal. So like and I think that I don't know who else falls under there where the beginning of the week is good and it starts to kind of teeter towards the end, which is pretty common, and people really just suck over the weekend. Like that's even more common. That stuff needs to be planned. So like just thinking, okay, so for Denise, if I was Denise, my thought process would be, all right, I have Monday through Wednesday. Somebody get to mute. I have Monday through Wednesday. I got that because I'm prepping that on Sunday. Okay, so on Sunday,
Yes.
I'm prepping for Monday through Wednesday. I physically can't eat the same thing more than 3 days in a row. How do I prepare for Thursday through Saturday? That's what we'll say, Thursday through Saturday. My suggestion would be, could you prep still on Sunday, but could you prep different stuff for the back end of the week? Or is it a thing that you don't want to eat it because you think it's too old? If that's the case, then you're going to have to cook on Wednesday. If you can't cook on Wednesday, though, then we got to figure out how you do that, which I think the only other way would be you're going to have to suck it up and eat and cook a different set or a different, whatever pair, whatever, however you do your stuff, whole different menu for the back end of the week. This is not, so let's apply it to something else. Okay. Let's say that somebody we'll go for a daily breakdown. All right. So this is someone who's breaking down on a daily basis. They start off strong. Breakfast is good because the structure is on point. They eat and then whatever they go into the gym or they gotta go to work. So the structure is there. But because they don't have any plan, the back end of the week the back end of the day always falls apart, and it's just like, okay, like we're gonna just figure it out. And every day they blow it because they don't have a plan. So some days they eating this, some days they eating that. Some days they don't eat. Some days everything just changes because there is no plan. So if they say out of sight, out of mind. So if you're not thinking about what you're gonna eat, and you're not a person who's like eating or have a habit of eating a lot, you just gonna stop. You're just not gonna eat. Like it's okay with you. Your body is used to that. You're not starving until you're finally set at the end of the day, and then you're like, dang, I'm starving. I ain't ate all day, so now you eating whatever, or you passing by fast food place and you get that because you hungry because you have no plan. So whether you're breaking down through the day or through the week, it's all preparation. You got to have a plan. So the first thing is, okay, we know MyFitnessPal, we have our calories. We talked about that in prior we already talked about that. So if we understand that, then we understand that that number there is just telling us how many calories do I need in a day. From there, we need to then understand how many times will it take me to eat to hit that number. Okay. Ultimately, then what's the plan to actually do that daily? Because it's easy. Everybody can hit it one day. You probably can hit it 2 days on just a freestyle. But what happens on day 5 when you like, I don't know, man. Like it's Friday. Like we just gonna figure it out. That's when stuff breaks down. It only takes 2 days, 2 of those days to set you back for the week. So you can have 5 great days of eating. You could do all the stuff right. 2 days could set you back, could change the outcome of the week. So you could be on pace to lose your 2 pounds a week, and in 2 days you could blow it. You could blow it so much that you gain 2 pounds in that week, just off of lack of preparation. So understanding the goal, understand that, okay, like what I need to do is I need to eat my breakfast. I got a long drive from home, from the gym to the house. So I'm gonna have a snack on the way home. These are things that's the, or I gotta run. I gotta do some runs after I do this. I'm gonna be out for like 3 hours from the next time I'm home. You need to prep for that. You need to pack something. Like, don't just not eat. It's okay to eat like small, something small before you commute or whatever. Like, you need to plan for that. All right. So, with that being said, does anybody got any? Does everybody understand what I'm saying here? I don't want to move on. I think this point is important to our. Does anybody need any additional, we'll say, elaboration of what I'm talking about here? Does everybody have a good understanding of kind of what I'm speaking about? Because I can help. I mean, if someone has a problem, I could break it. I could help you with the problem right here if we need some help. Everybody good? Everybody sing? Everybody good? Yeah. Yeah. No, Miss Annette, you need some help there? I can help you out right now. You need some help?
No, I understand what you're saying.
You understand?
I got to.
You breaking up. I can't hear you.
I'm good.
You good?
I said I'm good. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. So, the next, the kind of bridging to our to the most important thing is accurately tracking. So we're not going to spend that long here, but this is kind of our final point. This is the most important point of the day, even though the last point was important too. Okay. If everybody is tracking now, that's what I'm hoping. Everybody, we talked about tracking for 15, 20 minutes now. Everybody is tracking. So I'm going to assume when I speak on this, I'm assuming that everybody is tracking and eating. Okay. The question would be, how do you know how much? So MyFitnessPal. I'm about to share the screen for a second because it's just easier to point it out. It's easier to point it out while showing. Okay, so I'm going to be on MyFitnessPal. Okay. So, accurately tracking. This is detrimental. And it also should be we'll say, a good determining factor on how you should be eating. Because depending on the food, they're harder to, especially because we're doing 70% real food. So At some point, we need some measurements. This is where I'm going to. We need to be able to measure some stuff. All right. So, and we're going to just do a couple examples to show like how things can really be changed. So let's just do, everybody likes what? Peanut butter. So this is a really hard one. So peanut butter, right? A lot of people are just scooping peanut butter. And I'm going to show you why that's very, really bad. Okay. So I don't even know. We're just going to use generic peanut butter. But right here is telling me that 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So we're going to go to nutrition info. So 2 tablespoons of peanut butter here is 180 calories. Okay. Just to kind of give you an indication. We're just going to use calories for now, but it also 15 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 8 grams of carbs. Okay, that's pretty accurate. What happens if you think that you did 2 tablespoons, but you really did 4? Right? We did 4 tablespoons instead. And because we really know, we kind of just scooped it, right? We ain't measure it out. It's not cooperating with me. Okay. What happens? That number doubles. So instead of you getting 180 calories, because you just tracked it, you push check on MyFitnessPal, and you said that you had 180 calories worth of peanut butter, and you really had 360. That could happen, right? That changes the number absolutely. Okay, well let's keep going, because some people like a lot of peanut butter on their sandwich, so, or whatever they're doing. So what happens if instead of the 1 scoop, excuse me, the 2 tablespoons, because we got a big old scoop out of the jar, and it ended up being 6 tablespoons. What happens then? Oh, that's not right. Now we've had 500 calories in peanut butter. All just because we're not tracking accurate enough. We don't know. We just scooping. 2 tablespoons means 2 tablespoons, not kind of 2 tablespoons. Okay? So when you track that, make sure you see this. So I don't know if you even knew this was here. It looks a little bit different on the phone. It should say servings. It also should give you some options on how you're measuring your whatever you're doing. Or I'm measuring it by the tablespoon or 2 tablespoons, because 2 usually on the back of a peanut butter jar, it tells you that 2 tablespoons equals 1 serving. Okay? I think 2 tablespoons is more than enough to put on the sandwich or whatever. So boom, I put that at 2 tablespoons, and how many servings? So I put 2. I had 2 pieces of bread, and I had 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. So that's 1 serving. That is probably accurate. Okay, that is a dramatic version, but peanut butter, nuts, trail mix, stuff like that, those are easily misrepresented, because the values, like with peanuts and nuts, stuff like that, the value goes up really fast depending on the serving. So like be aware, especially. So let's just do like a trail mix real fast so y'all can see. So, or let's do almonds. Everybody likes almonds, right? So like an almond, right? Let's do ounces. So this is some almonds right here, right? So what it's saying is that 1 serving of almonds is 1 ounce. 1 ounce of almonds is 170 calories, 15 grams of fat, 6 grams of protein, and 5 carbs. Pretty much similar to 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, about the same. Okay. So what if you just tracked it like, oh, I had 1 ounce of almonds, but you had 4 ounces? Because it's easy. It's easy to get 4 ounces of almonds. You grab a cup, you go in that bag 2 times, you probably got 4 ounces. Okay. So that goes from, come on now. That goes from 170 to 680. 60 grams of fat, 20 carbs, 24 protein. Just that fast. Just that fast. And you know what's funny? If you're not measuring, Lord knows, because everybody's like, you probably could grab a handful of nuts and you probably could be close to 4 ounces with a nice handful, maybe 2, depending on how big your hand is. So like, that's why tracking is so important, because you could easily be doing something or think that you're doing something good with your tracking, but you're doing this. And you've literally, you're eating 400, 500 more calories than what you thought you were. So now you went from under eating to overeating. And that's, like I said, anything in the nuts family, stuff like that, that stuff is very, very difficult. So make sure, especially for the nuts, that you figure out what you're doing and you measuring it, because they add up quickly. Especially, that's why people don't want, that's why I usually, like, you talk to, like health professionals, stuff like that, they tell people just to stay away from trail mix and nuts like that because of that. They're so hard to account for if people, especially if you're not measuring it out. Because people are like, oh, I had a handful of nuts. All right, shoot, you probably had 600 calories worth of nuts. What you gonna do for the rest of the day? Like, so just put that in, get that in your mind. Just measure it. Get a measuring cup. Or for ounces, get a scale, get a food scale and weigh it. Okay. Another example. I'm just gonna give you a couple more examples, before we close it up, because I think that this is gonna be more than enough for us to work on, because I think that a lot of people just haven't been tracking right. Okay, let's go with some rice. Okay, people like rice. Let's go rice. Okay, so rice, we'll go with, let's go brown rice. You gotta be specific here. So brown rice, we gonna go to Walmart brand brown rice. Okay, this is a cup of rice. Usually this should be a cup of uncooked rice, unless it's the rice that's already prepared, that you like a freezer or something like that. This should be uncooked. Okay, I know that's something that people get messed up too. Pasta, if on the back of the pasta box or whatever, it says however many ounces, that's uncooked. That's not cooked unless it specifies that it's cooked. Okay, they're telling you that a cup of uncooked pasta is equal to this. Okay, once you cook it, obviously it's different. Okay, the measurement is different. So if you're putting something together, know that when you're tracking it, you're tracking the uncooked version. Okay, so this is a cup of uncooked rice, 150 calories, 33 carbs, 4 grams of protein. That's if you're measuring it. But if you're not measuring it, and you think you had a cup and you just pouring into the pot before you boil it, and it ends up being 3 cups, instead of you having that 150 calorie rice meal, now you got 450 calorie rice meal, almost 100 carbs and 12 protein. Okay, so you got to be aware. They always have different options. So if you don't have a cup, they have different options right here. It's usually servings, and then on the other side, it has a way for you to change the measurement, the option. They all don't have it, depending on what the food is. Okay, let's do one more example. Let's do a protein. So we can have a little bit of everything. So protein, let's go with let's go for chicken. Okay, so we go into chicken breast. Since I know everybody loves chicken breast. We're going for a Tyson chicken breast. We'll just go there. Popular brand. Okay, the Tyson chicken breast, 4 ounces of chicken is equal to 110 calories, 3 grams of fat, no carbs, and 23 grams of protein. Okay, so how do we know if our chicken is 4 ounces? Guess we don't know. Probably need a food scale to weigh that, because I'm going to take this and I'm going to say that there's 1 ounce. So what happens if we thought it was 4 ounces and it was 7 ounces? Okay, so now we've doubled the amount of protein that we had, because before it was about 20 grams. Now we have 40 grams of protein. It's 193 calories, still no carbs. But that's because we haven't tracked. You may think that you have 6 ounces and you might have 10 ounces of chicken. Who knows? Now you have 275 calories worth of chicken and 58 grams of protein. Okay? So I'm hoping that we're seeing how important it is to accurately track, because we could think that we're getting something and we could be eating a whole different amount. All right. So I think it should be an easy guess on what our homework is for this week. Here it goes. A, the same thing that we did last time. I need at least 8 out of 14 days tracked. Along with that, I want you to start with the first part. Figure a plan out. If you're having a constant breakdown in the week, in the day, whatever, let's try to put a plan together to eliminate the breakdown. Okay? And then if you need additional help, just email me, text me, or talk to me in person. Excuse me. The most important part for the day, our most important homework, try your best to track accurately, because what I'm going to ask you all in 2 weeks is, did you track accurately, and how do you know? How do you know? The answer should be pretty simple, because I've either weighed and measured my stuff, or I know the exact serving size, because you should know. There shouldn't be a mystery. Does everybody understand what our homework is? Yeah. Does anybody have any questions about our
I
tracking?
had to step away. What's the homework?
I'll send it to you in the email.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah, I'll send you. I'm gonna send you all the email, and I'm also gonna send you this everything we went over again, because you might want to see it again, especially
I was just away like 2 seconds.
Oh, it's okay. I'm saying I'm gonna always send y'all the but I'm gonna send you all this so you can replay it, so you all can get additional help on tracking accurately. I'll also send you the email on all the homework. But do we have any questions mainly about actually accurately tracking? Can we all at least try to get that done? Yeah? Okay. So somebody come on. No? Okay. So I'm not going to keep y'all any longer, but like I said, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to send it to you all. I want y'all to review. You ain't going to review the whole lesson, but review the last 10 minutes to see how I got and facilitated through MyFitnessPal. If you need additional help, just let me know. Okay? If you don't have measuring cups, please go get some measuring cups. If you don't got a food scale, you probably gonna need a food scale if you plan on eating any meat.
Brandon?
Yep.
Are you saying that when you look on the back of things, the serving size doesn't matter? We should still always weigh or measure it? We shouldn't be looking at what's on the back of the item, like if you were the rice, what it says about the rice. It's still better to weigh it, or
unless it's one serving in the whole package, I would weigh and measure it. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Like I said, any additional help, just let me know and I'll help you through it. I'll show you additional things to do.
I
Okay?
thought- Yeah, I just thought you meant you have to pay attention to like something like rice, whether it's dried, which has different calories versus it being cooked.
Well, that's one part of it, but that's not the total part.
Okay.
Like I said, any additional question about the actual, I'll help you all out. Just ask me and I can show you in person, like on your phone.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Let's start this week off good. I'm about to send y'all this lesson back over so you can review it. And I'm going to send you the homework again. I will see you all next week. Let's do our best.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.